Welcome to another MPA Production stream. I am the guild leader from the MPA community. This is a live stream we do Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, where we work on community-related projects, such as collaborations, and in the future, we're going to be doing other things as well. Hi, Fox. Fox the Galaxy in the chat, one of our members. It's the Music Production Arena community. You can find all the links on top of our Twitch page, on top of the YouTube page, both those channels. We stream live to both those channels, as well as D Live. We have viewers over there, so I'm going to continue to stream to our D Live platform. That started out as an extra platform just for some external stuff I was doing. And it's not even an MPA channel, it's just my personal channel. But I'm going to continue to stream to that. So we're streaming YouTube, Twitch, D Live, and even in the future, we plan on casting it out to a couple other places. One of them being virtual reality. All right, more about that later. So we've been working here on community collaborations. This is the 9th week. This starts the 9th week, which I say it a little bit of a surprise because I am kind of surprised that it's already been 9 or 8 weeks. And here we go, starting the 9th week. I mean, it makes sense, you know, time flies, and it's really not that much time, but still, when you're working on a project like this and you kind of set goals, actually, it does seem to kind of fly by like that, especially if you're having fun. So we've been working on community collaborations just to update people or kind of let people know for those that haven't been following. What it is we've been collecting samples from the Music Production Arena community. I have anyways. And I've been streaming each day, working in FL Studio, working on just creating tracks with the samples I've collected. As simple as that. It's a real simple concept, collaboration concept. MPA Collab Season 1, and we have a little spreadsheet that goes along with it. Okay. I've been working on all the tracks. This week, the goal is to mix the tracks, mix down. Although there's probably one or two parts in every track that still haven't really been written, but that's okay. Let's not worry about that. I'm actually gonna write that stuff like while I'm mixing, and then later at night in the studio, and just before they're released. I'm still tweaking the songs. But this week, just to stay on schedule, I'm focused on mix downs. So we're gonna go through all 8 tracks, and I'm gonna do mix down techniques. By the end of this week, all these will be ready for mastering. Basically, is the goal. That means I need to finish writing them and everything. All this by the end of this week. So we're going the next week. We can start mastering the tracks. We'll see if that works out. But this week, definitely focus on mixing. Like I said, this starts the 9th week, so that means we spent 8 weeks on 8 tracks, which is pretty good, I think. Writing them, collecting the samples, generating ideas, trying different things, and then putting the songs together, writing small arrangements, and just trying to make the song sound good, and then posting demos on our Instagram and Discord, stuff like that. And now it brings us to week 9, which is going to be mixing. So it's not too late to jump in on the collab. It kind of is because I'm done writing it, but to be honest, a lot of the songs still need things. So we can still do the real-time collaboration just to let people, again, to kind of further the explanation of this collab. What's neat about this stream and the collab, for those that don't know, and the people that have been participating, what we've been doing is they've been sending me samples in real time most of the time, or right before or after the stream as sample packs or whatever. But it's a real time, interactive live stream. I'm gonna always promote that aspect of it because that's the kind of workflow I want to generate here and cultivate. Is like a if you're listening to me produce a song and you're like, oh, I can make something for this, or I'm gonna record a bass line or sing a vocal hook, or maybe add a little sweep, anything that you want to add to the song, you can send to me in real time just by Google Drive or Link, whatever. Just like, hey, I sent you a sample. I collect the sample, throw it in real time, and we write music. That's how a lot of these songs were written. And it's not really too late for that, but although we are in the mixing stage, these songs still need things. So if we hear, like, a lot of them need riser effects. So if people got riser effects, start sending them my way. Sweep noises, white noise sweep, impact samples, vocals. If anyone wants to give vocals, it's never too late. I could throw something in at the last minute, but we're going to be mixing down these tracks and continuing to work on the transitions. So that's what we're working on this week. Today's Monday. It's always use Monday as kind of an update day. Just kind of update everything of what we're at on the project. Google, Fox of Google says, I have a thing on the drive. Very good. Let's check that out. See, well, as an example, Fox of Galaxy, remember, just sent me something on the drive. Shared folder that we have. So I go here to MPA samples, MPA collected samples. Fox Galaxy's got their own pack here. And I've been collecting samples from them all for the past 9 weeks now. It's been fun. What is it titled? Fox? Fog Yoy 174. No, that's for that other thing. Let's Dolt. Anyways, this is the Fox Galaxy. Just let me know what is the title or folder, and I'll bring it in, Fox. All right, so just some more further updates and like catching people up since this is Monday and whatever. Like, so that's the way the collabs have been working. That's the way the stream's been working, and I'm always trying to figure out ways to make it better. So this is still a new concept, but I'm basically in it to win it now. I love it. We are doing a season 2. And that's already been, the date for that's already been set. It's October 4th. Kitsune Fog Remix Whip. Nice. Toxic Galaxy was telling me what this thing was saying. All right. Back to what I was saying. October 4th. Date set for season 2. I'm not going to promise a season 3, but I've been enjoying this project so much that I wanted to go ahead and do a season 2. We already have a lot of tracks started, and the reason why. So, season 2, for sure, of the community collabs, MPA Production stream, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, rest of this year. Season 2 will be starting October 4th. And so if you want to get in on this, but you want to, it's too late now because we're just in the mixing stage and the song's already written, don't worry, because we're doing another season. And, so you can start sending me stuff now if you want for season 2, starting October 4th. All right. And then quick other announcements. Feedback podcast stream. it's a working title. Every time I announce it, I come up with a different name for it. But what it is our normal feedback stream we used to do every Friday. We're now doing the last Friday of the month, and it's the last Friday of this month. You can submit your tracks through musicproductionarena.com. You'll see it there. /feedback if you want. It's music production. /feedback. I think that'll get you there. musicproductionarena.com/feedback. You submit your tracks. What makes this feedback stream different than all our old feedback streams is we wanted to really change the style of it. Blay or Diana is the one that streams that, and it's kind of their baby. So it's instead of just giving people immediate feedback on tracks every week and as they're working on songs, just to tell people, hey, good job or good track or no, this sucks or this is good. We didn't want that. We liked when we broke into like discussions and podcasts and rants, but the thing is we never felt like it was appropriate because people were just waiting for us to move on to the next track and give them the feedback, and these rants were out of place, although that's kind of what Diana wanted to do all along, but we weren't letting them do the rants. I didn't rant much, Radian doesn't rant much, but we got opinions. Diana, the one that does the stream, really wants to go on these rants and discussions and stuff. So now we're shifting it towards a discussion style podcast. So we're going to be selecting songs all month that are, good songs, but open up a lot of discussion about things that could have been better, different styles of feedback and things like that. We don't know. We're coming up with the idea, but we're going to definitely experiment with it. But we want it to be more of a discussion podcast style feedback. So that's the MPA feedback stream, last Friday of every month. You can submit for that at any time. See if your track gets selected. So that'd be cool. No more 3-minute timer thing. I guess, Fox of Galaxy, I don't know exactly how it's going to be. Especially if we still get 6 tracks, we're going to still need to stick to some kind of limit. So I don't know exactly how. Diana talked about maybe 4 tracks only, but I'm just thinking to myself like all month just to select 4 tracks. But it makes sense when we think about that. It's really not for immediate feedback. It's more for just a good show. I have to put on a good, 2-hour, 1 to 2 hour session of show talking and discussion and listen to some music and then talk about it. So maybe if we want to talk more, maybe we have to do less tracks. But if we're gonna do 6 tracks within 2 hours, we always did need to keep it within a 3 to 5 minute timer at the most. I don't know. Those streams have been fun because they kind of taught me how to even stream more efficiently. I mean, and host more efficiently. But every week we were trying little things a little different. We tried different things about where we're going to take turns giving feedback, or we're going to discuss something, or we're going to go and rant. We've tried it all, and so now after trying everything and taking a break, this is what we're going to try. So let's see how it works. So last Friday of the month. What is today? I don't have a calendar right here. It's not this week, but it's the next week. So it's the 24th, I believe. If it's the last Friday, that's the last Friday of this month, the 24th. Wow, this month is flying by. As I keep saying, these streams are occupying my week in a good way, as they always say. If you're having fun, time flies or whatever. That's exactly what these streams have been like. Even like before and after stream, just focused on the songs and stuff. Okay, let's get to this little thing Fox of Galaxy made. Let's see. Get soon. I saw it a second ago. Kits Sunpower Fog Remix Whip. Hold up. Okay, so this is the collab that we're doing of KP with KP. Fox, I'm guessing, downloaded the samples and did a remix. By the way, the spreadsheet I was showing a second ago, I will be updating it heavily this week and next week with new samples, new demos. I've actually already cleared them out, so these packs are now all empty. And I'll be updating the notes and everything on this week. All right, let's see. Fox of Galaxy Kit Sun remix thing. cool. That noise is real thick, but I actually like it. I'd want to use it for... I mean, it's muddying up the mix. You might want to work on that, but that noise sound you got going on the whole time. Thick. Oh, this is cool. Yeah. Interesting. Is this supposed to be missing the drums right here? Fox, there's no way you actually meant to render this out without the drums, or did you? This is the most creative track ever, and then years from now they're gonna be looking back at this track saying, remember Fox of Galaxy was the first person to release this heavily sidechained track without the kick drum? Boom. Boom. Snare. Boom. Snare. Boom. Am I supposed to put the kick drum and snare in here? Kick, snare, kick. Is there a kick and I'm just not hearing it? No, there's no kick. That's cool though, I like it. I want to hear all this with the kick. This is a long... No, it's really not. It's just 3 minutes. Seems long. There's the kick. Came back. I turned the kick and snare off a lot. In fact, we're gonna be doing that a lot this week during the mixing process to get the volume set right and everything without the kick and snare. And then you bring the kick and snare back. I do all these different tricks. But the sidechain's all the way there. So what are you using the sidechain? And what do you do if your kick has like a different pattern than that? Do you just kind of like mainly heavily kick the downbeats, the 1 and the 3, kick, snare? You're mainly just stuck in those, or are you gonna switch that up? Like, I don't know how everyone does it. I know everyone does it different. Like, if it's just a straight 4/4, like 4 to the floor style pattern, it's so easy to sidechain with just any kind of old tool or whatever. But if your kicks are at all like a break beat or a drum and bass or whatever, you know, the sidechain of course has to be customized. Although I do like this, it sounds good. It seems like the kick and snare would just slip right into this. The parts. Is it even sidechained yet, or am I just hearing it? Yeah, it looks like it ducks right there. That's nice. It's like ready to go. It's like ducking, just it's already produced. I guess that's a more common production technique anyways, because you know you're going to be putting there. You use like Shaper Box or LFO tool or anything like that. It's going to basically just... It's not even really sidechaining at that point. It's just volume automation. Okay. I like it, Fox. Now that you shared it with me, are you as motivated to finish it? That's a thing in psychology. Like, if you're working on something you want to show people, you know, and you put a lot of work into it because you're excited to show people. But if you show people early, you'll lose a lot of that motivation to finish it and show people because they've already heard it basically, and you no longer like got that motivation. So I mean, that's just a thing. It's a thing that I focus on all the time because I've been showing these tracks all along. So to stay motivated to finish them, I just tell myself like, okay, what can I do to make them better than what they've heard the last time that they've heard them, basically. But when you reveal your tracks early to people, you might lose a little motivation to finish it. You know, I don't know. It's a thing I heard once on the thing I read once. Maybe it's not true. Don't believe everything you read. It makes sense though. All right. Pretty cool. I would say for some feedback though, it's really already sounding very muddy. Like needs to be opened up, brightened, maybe a little more. And it doesn't. You don't have to do it to like fit every genre. But I'm saying it's still within the genre of sounding like this kind of mix. Still needs to be a little space. But you're not done with it, so I would just say aim towards that direction. We're going to be doing a lot of that this week on the mixing stage of these tracks. So let's get into that. Mixing the tracks down. We got 8 tracks. We're going to do a mix down on all 8 of them. We're going to go through them a few times each this week because I'm going to do different techniques. And I also, yeah, I got them. I'm going to hand out, I don't know who wants the actual FLPs. My template's like customized for me. Pretty straightforward template, but it's customized for me. But I will upload my FLP also when I'm done with these. So, you got another sample, Fox? We got time today. We got time this week, honestly, because I'm just gonna be doing some stuff. But I'm gonna start. Maybe we really don't have that much time, but the stream is gonna be interesting because I've never really just done mix downs on stream, so I'm kind of curious how this is gonna go. But we're definitely gonna start mixing down. Fox, are you sending me something else? Did you say? Made 4 different bases and one of them is in the drive. What is it called? 5-minute base? No. 7-1. No. Fox. Oh yeah, what'd you get for your birthday the other day, Fox? 14 pieces. All right, this is a sample. The Fox wins the loudness wars because they just do. There's not even that -1 dB of like space that, you know. All right. Let me turn it. That's clean. That has a really nice clean. You can look at the speak check spectrum analyzer. Let's look at this. That is a nice sample. Look how balanced this is. Yeah. You could even control the sub a little, make it like with a compressor or whatever, and it kind of make this a little bit. But actually, this sound like this is one of those samples I'm always talking about. Like if you were to drop this in the mix, you wouldn't want to ruin it by putting too many other things around it or EQing it too much. That's like a res. If you analyze like Rez's music, Rez the mid-tempo style music. How many EQ curves you Fox says, I won the loudness war. I don't know. There are some people out there still battling the loudness war. And they're winning it. As long as you can make it super loud without introducing some unwanted artifacts and distortion. Now, if you want the artifacts and distortions that come from in whatever mixing style you come from, then you know you want it, you got it. That's the way it goes. This is loud. Thing is, with samples, they're always going to be turned down anyways, thrown in the mix. So they don't need to be at max, but they do need to be max because, and what I just said they don't, but they do. I mean, they need to be at least at -1 or whatever because that's the way Splice does it now, and all the other sample services and your sample libraries and everything. They just it's normalized, and so you basically want to normalize all your samples. You can still leave -1 though for just that extra little bit of just safety net because it's, you know, everyone does -1, even the loudest people in the world do -1. on all their samples and even in their final mixes and masters. Some people do +3, I know, but most people do -1. And thing is, they're gonna be turned down anyways. So I mix everything at -6. So there's at least gonna be turned down to -6. So this sample you gave me here called 14 pieces, you know, I'm gonna at least turn it down to -6 dB. So it doesn't need to be, but having it at -1 dB is where I like to keep all my samples. I used to do -6 on all my samples too. They just, you know, they're quieter than all the other ones. They don't look as, they can't see them visually as thick as all the other samples, and it's just like, okay, I'll do my final mix at -6, but all my samples are gonna be at -1. That's kind of my thing. All right, 14 pieces. I like that sample a lot. Let's use that for something. I'm keeping this. Now mine. Just play it. We're gonna use it in a collab next season. Let's start mixing. It's hard. I know a lot of people. I hear such great tracks still today that, yeah, I could argue like, okay, this is still that 2014 sound almost to it, or call back to 2014 style bro step, dubstep, growl stuff. And then, you know, then you got the super modern 2018, 2019 style stuff, which, you know, there's a big difference between those two genres. But I think some of the best music still coming out is the stuff that does, it's like the mixture of the two, you know what I mean? Like the melodic dubstep and all that stuff that in the color base. The more it sounds like the 2014 stuff mixed with the modern stuff, the better it is, I think. Because they had something going in 2014. They had something, they were on their track. They didn't get so much heat from the UK about dubstep being stolen and not the same anymore, and dubstep sucks, and all this pushback against bro step and all that stuff. They wouldn't have ran away from it, in my opinion. They would have kept going with it. They should have just, I don't know, if you read more into that and how much people in the UK hate what Skrillex did, the dubstep and all that stuff, I don't know, the whole thing. I'm just like, whatever. It's, you know, it's two different genres at this point to me, but I actually enjoy the bro step more than just regular wub 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 wub. But it's varied and far. It's strayed far from that. And I think because of a lot of it due to the bad rep that it got for just within the global audience, you know, not just the American audience, but the global scene kind of started saying, we don't listen to that stuff. And I was like, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like today's dubstep. Definitely like today's dubstep, but not all of it necessarily. I mean, I like all bass music. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying there's still some of what they're missing from today's dubstep that is still, in my opinion, super modern or future. But people always say that it's like, oh, that's like 2014 stuff. And if you're talking mainly about the growl, yeah, that's played out. But just a lot of the stuff they were doing in 2014, the stuff that like the Bangarang EP from Skrillex and things like that. I wish there was a lot more of that stuff. I just wish there was. I wish that Bangarang album or whatever, was it called Bangarang? I can't remember. The Skrillex EP with Bangarang on it and the Doors track and all the other stuff on there. That album to me, that EP was just like one of my favorites. Hey, Alpha J in the chat. Alpha J's been sending me some stuff today too. Really killer stuff. Hey, Alpha J, let's get something ready for next season. Give me just a fresh track, fresh collab. Alpha J starts it. Send it my way, something fresh, and then we'll add other producers onto it. But let's start creating something for season 2. All right, what order do we want to start mixing these tracks in? And like I said, we're gonna go through each one of them multiple times this week. Should we start with the first one, or should we do random? I just do random. Do random so no one can predict what we're gonna do. I'll just pick a card at random here. These are my cards for the tracks. This is the one I picked. It's collab number 2. All right, collab 2. So, looking at my hands, like, collab 2, which is this one. Mix down. All right, so just one more time as a reminder, this week, other than just kind of chatting and talking about future plans in the community as a whole and stuff, and just talking to the members in the chat, which, you know, I enjoy that. We're mainly gonna be focused on mix downs, and we're gonna do some different techniques. I mean, one of the main techniques that I like is the focusing on the most important elements first, which is the kick in the bass and the snare and stuff to me, the drums and the bass. And then I mean they're all important if you ask me. Everything's got its most important thing. You got to do everything just right. But the things that I focus on last are things like pads, heavy chords, for the most part, extra effects, a lot of white noise effects and stuff. I focus on them last because those can really get in the way if you're trying to hear all the other sounds in your track. So, but there's no right wrong, I guess, way of mixing. I'm not going to do the pink noise mixing thing. I was starting to do something like that. For those that are familiar with the pink noise style of mixing, where you basically start by balancing and leveling all your tracks against the balanced pink noise sample. Thing is, when I do that, it's already pretty close, and I'm not even trying to flex on all my mixes already there. I try to go do it with the thing, and I spend more time going, I'm not making any adjustments. It already sounds close enough, and then all the adjustments, I take the pink noise off, and the adjustments I do, I'm just putting it back to the way it was. So I'm like, I'm already, and they say that once you get used to balancing your tracks, you don't need that pink noise trick anymore. That's just like a way if you're like learning how to mix. And I know there's some pros that use it every time, but I'm not going to be doing it. I start with the kick. I get the kick. Okay, and I open up. Move this out of the way. Close this. Send that out. Our Discord, everybody. Join us on our Discord. I don't think I said that today. We got a Music Production Arena Discord. Please join us there. All right. Open up our tools. We're going to need to analyze this whole thing. We're going to use span, frequency analyzer, FreeVST, for those that don't know. We're going to use our fruity limiter. Limiter. Perfectly lined up here. I'm going to open up Edison for resampling purposes and audio editing and restoration and other things. I like to use Edison a lot. We're going to use New Time. I use New Time quite a bit. For those that are sleeping on New Time, I never hear anyone talking about it. New Time is nice. You know, that's what we don't have. Ableton. We have New Time. It's nice. Drop some samples in there. It's not hard to use. You link it. You hit the little link here to your project, and you double click to create markers, and then you can just move those markers around just like you were in Ableton, warping audio, and then you can just bounce it right back to your project. Use it all the time. New Time. We're gonna be doing that for time correction. It's all part of my mixing stages. Just all the fine tuning and stuff. All right. So there will be some resampling involved, some timing corrections involved, a lot of balancing, some EQing. Definitely a lot of EQing. All right, here we go. We got all the windows open. Okay. This is the track collaboration number 2, Guild, Mr. Fox, and Yaley. Never put anyone else on this one, but that's fine. I'm feeling next season is going to have a lot more members because I'm going to reach out to a lot more producers. But this season was like the pilot season, me getting used to like this whole system and like, okay, I figured out how I can do this. All right, so we're not going to even listen. I'm trying to think if I want to listen to them first or just start mixing them. I've heard them enough. I mean, people watching probably heard them enough too. But if there's any new viewers, you definitely stick around so you can hear the final version. I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna put down the kick drum. I'm going to loop the spot of this track. Going to mute all these other drums stuff. What do we got? We have the kick for collab number 2. Go ahead, shorten this loop. I'm going to be looping different sections of the track as we do this. Alpha J is saying, oh, you know what I forgot also? It says starting soon this whole time. I think y'all know that and y'all just laugh at me. Alpha J is saying, Guild, I don't know how to make a good intro. Could you help me with that? I mean, I can give you some pointers right here. I don't know how much free time I have to before and after the stream to really like help that, because actually behind on some other things we're supposed to be doing. But let me, yeah, I love to talk about it here on the stream. So Alpha J's asking about intros. First of all, do you like long intros? Do you like these intros that are like really long and they make you wait? And there's like anticipation. You start hearing all the elements coming in slowly, and the song starts building up, and then it finally drops like a long intro. Because that's what an intro is to me. It's something that's long. It's long enough to be called a section of the song. I more commonly do really short intros in my music, though. I say I like long intros, but I don't like making long intros. I like short intros. Short intros are easy to make. They're literally just a couple elements from the track put at the beginning of your song, and they roll into the song. They always just anything that sounds good as kind of a starter. Listen to reggae music and how they intro all their songs. Like every dance hall track or any reggae song, it's just and the song starts. It's just like and the song starts. Really short intros. That's what I'm into now. So a longer intro, there's a lot more to it. It's still just, to me, it's just taking their song and taking the drums out and like building up the elements one at a time. You can have a little bit of drums, a little bit of percussion, but really just kind of like there's no heavy kick, there's no heavy snare, nothing, there's no bass yet. It's just really like subtle elements. Maybe a little bass starts coming in and it's building up, kind of like like a riser, but it's more of just like a build up. And then the kicks, the bass, and everything comes in, the song starts. So intros are actually pretty easy. You might be overthinking them. But again, I like short intros. And the way I do it, just real quickly, the way I'll always kind of do a drum intro. This track is not a good example. This track has an intro, of course. This track has an intro. As you can see, my intro for this track is just a few little elements from the whole song. And I haven't finished it, but I'm going to like filter them in like this. So that's going to be the intro of this track. But if I was to do the drum intro, this intro is basically a riser. So this intro is a riser. You can basically make the intro. You can make your first riser build up the intro of your song. There's no reason not to do that. But a shorter intro would be like this 4-bar thing I have here. There's no drums in it. We're not going to hear anything right now. And then I just have the bass. I have this element. Another important thing about the intro, you want it to be rememberable. You want people, when they hear the intro, they already know what song they're about to listen to. All the best songs, you know what song it is the very first few notes it plays. So intros are important to be iconic, to be a signature of the track, to be recognizable from anywhere. As soon as the DJ hits play on your track, you want the intro but it's easier than making it out to do that. It's actually pretty easy to do something like that. In my experience, it's pretty easy. But this is a simple intro. I'll do some more examples later. All right, let's start mixing. Solo the drums, just the kicks. So this is not just the kick, it's the drum loop, but that's okay. It's all good. Oh, I see. The drum loops in this. So I can mute that. Let's start with this kick. For sure, Alpha J. Let me just try a few different ways and let me hear them. I'll tell you which one I like the best. Try a few different intros. Most modern music does use short intros, but no reason to copy what's out there. I think shorter intros, people like it because it just gets them into the track right away, and you have a better chance of hooking them. If you have a log intro, they might get bored and click off your track. So just something to think about. Shmagad in the chat. Hey, coming in with the Gandalf. Is that Gandalf? Or is that... It's probably not Gandalf. My bad if that's a Harry Potter thing. I've never seen Harry Potter. What's up, God? We're mixing today. Monday is kind of a recap day. That's why we're finally just now getting into this track. But all week, we're going to be doing some mix downs. I'm starting with the kick on both these. Let's analyze where this kick is. So if I just do Reset the span, peak thing. Let's see where this is peaking. Quiet. It's a quiet kick. Negative 11.5. You can even see on the dB meter here, it's pretty quiet. Let's make this kick louder. All right. That's where I like it. Anywhere in the -9 section. KP. Foxy Galaxy remixed one of your songs. Foxy Galaxy did a Foxy Galaxy version of the KP track. Fox, send it to KP. How you doing, KP? All right, so we're mixing this week, KP. We're gonna get to your track too. It might be today, I don't know, but I'm doing them at random. We're gonna get through all 8 tracks, not necessarily today, but we're gonna do all 8 tracks multiple times this week as I do different mixing techniques and reference tracks. And we're gonna get all these 8 tracks ready for mastering next week, and we're gonna master the tracks, and then we're gonna post them all. Yeah, Foxy Galaxy's in the chat, I believe. Foxy Galaxy, you should send KP your it's not a finished track, so I don't know if he wants to send it to you yet. I played it. You can rewind the stream, KP. I played it at the beginning of the stream, but I don't want to do it again right now because like I keep like getting off track. So okay, so I got the kick at -9.9. Good. I like the way it looks on the meter. We're going to use that as our reference point. So if I was going to use the pink noise technique, I would put the pink noise in, and I would first match the pink noise to the kick because that's the level I want this at. Another reason why I'm not doing the pink noise technique here on stream because it's annoying and I don't want to bother y'all. But I do have this plugin I found. It's just called Pink. There it is. So if I was to hit the kick right now, I still hear the kick, but actually I don't have this. It's ducking it. All right. I put this at -6. I'm not going to use this. I'm just showing y'all that I have this little tool. It's a free plugin. I don't know. The kick is louder than the pink noise, meaning I would need to turn the kick down, but actually I don't want to, so I would actually turn the noise up. I guess you wouldn't want to have the limiter on it. But anyways, let me turn this pink noise thing off. That's pink noise plugin. It makes it really easy to do the whole pink noise mixing thing, and it's actually a really cool technique. You just got to balance it first. The reason why that wasn't working here is because I had it smashed against this limiter. I'd actually want to lower this limiter down to -6, then do the pink noise technique, so it's not smashed against the limiter the whole time. And then I could turn the limiter back on up to whatever I'm doing, whatever. But you want to basically, I guess, put the noise at -6, and then mix everything to that, and you make it where you could barely. You basically put your sound, like you turn up the kick drum or the snare drum or whatever sound it is till you can barely hear it over the pink noise, and then you lower it until the pink noise covers it up. And you basically do it to the same on every track. And then you take the pink noise off and you get a really balanced, it's just a starting point. You get a really balanced level for all your tracks, but then you definitely have to go in and like use your ear to make adjustments on basically. Okay. On every track here today, we're also going to be checking the EQ. This looks fine to me. Some people would tighten this up. I'm going to leave it untouched. That's our kick. All right, let's go to the snare. Kick and snare, kick and snare, kick and snare. I also constantly lowering the volume of my headphones. Y'all won't notice a difference because I'm just not touching y'all's volume. But I'm lowering the volume of my headphones really quiet first. And then I turn it up really loud, get an idea. I'm making adjustments based on what I hear on each one. As of right now, I'm not going to really touch this snare. It sounds fine. I can't really decide if I want it quiet or low. Right, turn on. I'm going to lower the volume super quiet. Oh, it is quiet. Okay, I have my headphones like barely turned up. That's already super loud. Barely got it turned up. I think I'm going to turn the hi-hats up a little. I'm going to check the dB meter on the hi-hats. Hitting at -21. Let's get some more volumes out of these highs. -16. I like that a lot better. But I'm using my ears mainly. Okay, let me turn this up. So I have this really quiet. Those hats are already pretty loud. That means that might mean the hats are going to be too loud when I turn this up. Let me turn it up on my headphones. Sounds fine. I'm going to leave it at that for now. So we got some more volume out of the hats. That's definitely going to help the track seem brighter. I actually usually prefer to mix, like I mix a lot on headphones, but then I actually prefer to definitely do another like serious mix on monitors. So I get a much better idea of where volumes are. I'm going to just stick to headphones right now so I can use my microphone. All right. Turn on these other percussion elements, but not the white noise stuff. The white noise really bugs me when I'm trying to mix things. I wait till the end to put in any kind of white noise, splashes, sweeps, and even crashes. Sometimes I don't even do crashes. In fact, I'm gonna turn that off right until the very end. So they can really color your other sounds, your super saw synths and all that stuff. You're trying to mix those, and your white noise and all that stuff just can get in the way of that stuff. Splashes. Crashes are weird like that. Crashes like they'll really open a track up even after the crash stops, and that can trick your ears, and you don't want to be trying to mix with all that stuff. Let's see, what do we got? There's a crash right there. All right, so we got this little reverse noise. Needs to be louder. Turn my headphones down again. Right. Already like the way that's sounding much better. We got the more volume out of the hat and the little reverse thing. Okay, I'm gonna leave the crash alone. I'm gonna leave the effect. Go ahead and move to the bass. All right. I've got sub channels here, and I have all the bass is being separated, the subs being split off. So that's how we're gonna have to pay attention when I'm mixing this. I'm gonna have to compress the sub, make sure all the subs are being balanced with each other. So I think this is just track 10. I think this whole track actually only has one bass track, so that's pretty easy. This one right here, track 10. You turn it on. All right, turn off the top end. We're gonna listen to just the sub. Sub needs to be turned up big time. I look at this frequency analyzer when I'm mixing at -6 dB. And I'm looking at this little thing right here. I don't know technical reason why or whatever, but I like this to get up to -42 right here. This little, so I'm talking about span right here, where I have this little graph right here, it's the -42 on the right side, and you go over here with the little lines. -42 has always been my sweet spot, sometimes a little bit more, but I want to be compressed up there. I want that sub to be sub-A. So let's turn this back on. I'm gonna just mute that. That's the top end of the bass. So if you're not using headphones or anything, your speakers, you're not gonna be able to hear the sub. I just got the sub on. I'm gonna turn it up. So I'm gonna use saturation. Okay, we got the compressor hitting it hard. That's the reason why. Look right there. Compressor's hitting it way harder than it needs to. Like extremely hard. No reason for this compressor to be hitting that hard. That was just a mistake because I was just producing fast. All right, back off this compressor. I'm looking at the span over here still. I'm trying to get it to negative. Like it's compressing. The signal's like balanced the whole time. They don't need to compress it, but I mean, yeah, still want to compress it a little. Like that's really loud there. So let me lower that. And I mean, it has a neat effect, but I'm going to compress it to the point where it's more solid. All right, and of course it's causing it to clip up here, so we're going to have to fix that. So I'm going to do that by, oh yeah, I was going to do saturation. I'm going to use wave shaper. We have the transient processor here also. Might not even need that. See how the limiter's clipping over here, but I have the sub where I want it. That means you gotta do some adjustment. gonna start with sidechain. We'll get some more volume out of this with the wave shaper. So let's go. Pretty wave shaper. I'm trying to think if I want to put it before or after the transient shaper. Pretty wave shaper. Oops. And 1-to-1. How do you lock? That's not lock. Sorry. I'm missing all my controls here. There they are. Sorry, they updated Wave Shaper and I haven't used it in a while. Right, let's turn on pre. I don't want to keep messing with that. It's bugging me right now. I need to clean it up. I'm gonna go back over to the top end. I'm gonna turn that back on. Let's hear what this sounds like with the top end on it. Wipe clipping. Turn this in the top layer. It's really neat, smooth sound, being like like a pad bass. Turn down just a little. I wish I had more color to it. I'm only gonna get so much out of this EQ, but let me. Yeah, this bass is missing most of its top end. This bass it's not the best sound design. I mean, it's a nice sound, but it's the reason why this track is going to be missing a big part until I at least get another little element in here. It's probably why it probably sounds a lot better with the other elements in there. That's why I haven't really been paying attention to it. But when you're just listening to just this bass here, it's really lacking all the top end. It's just noise. You can bring a little bit out like that, I guess. Check the compressor. It's just the crazy EQ curve there. All right, flipping. Let's add in another element. We'll come back to that. Let's go with this one here, track 8. It's the little, it's like a vocal sample saying like "aya aya" or something like that. I don't know. But that's a pad thing. I'm actually gonna skip that. Next one is, I mean, not a pad. It's kind of, that's more of an atmospheric thing. I actually want to wait till the end to put that one in, just like some of those other sounds. So it's order of operations here, like most important, loudest things I'm gonna do first. So track 7 is this pad thing. I'm actually gonna mix this one now because I feel like this is like supposed to kind of be the top end of that bass. This sub needs some work. I can just kind of. Turn off this limiter. That was better. Okay, so these chords need to be a lot louder. So the bass is the main problem in this track so far. We're gonna have to do something about that. Go back to it. It's just causing it to clip way too much, and it's an easy fix. I'm just like I'm not catching it right now, like what the problem is. I'm gonna turn these chords on. Let's get these nice and loud prepared to get that kick. Oh yeah, let's do some mono references. That's in mono now. I'm gonna turn my headphones down really low. Yeah, that's nice and loud. I mean, I can hear it all the way down. I got all the energy from those pads. It's not clipping. Turn my headphones up, nice and loud. I'm gonna check the EQ on that. It's cutting the lows off. Reverb on it. I'm not gonna worry too much about that reverb right now. Alright, I'm gonna turn the sub back on without the... Transient processor off. Okay, there, the sub is... You can't always get that rule of thumb here, -42, whatever. That's going to be all over the place, the whole thing I was talking about a little bit ago. But there is something you can check. If you use this frequency analyzer on the masters, you'll notice that, like, analyze just hundreds of bass music tracks and analyze them all. You'll notice all the subs hit basically at the same exact spot. So you just got to learn with your mixes, your pre-masters, and your mastering chain how to get your sub in that recommended spot, basically. And that's what I was talking about there. But it's not. Sometimes that comes in the mastering. You know, a lot of times, this is in the sound design problem I'm having right here, and the note that it's on, like the note of this entire track. I forget the key. You know what I mean? And Diety Dubs in the chat. Hey, hello. Won't be here for very long. Gotta go with my brother to get my car fixed. Oh, at least your car will be fixed. That's good. No worries. And Diety, I'm not sure which tracks we're going to be working on today necessarily, but we're all going to be doing a lot of mix down, different techniques, and I'm going to be going through each track, you know, multiple times this week and just doing some mixing on them, trying to get them ready for mastering, basically. I'll be doing a lot of references and stuff off stream, also, like in the car and things like that. Things I can't necessarily do here on stream. All right, so okay, that sub's not clipping. I like that, but not as loud. But it sounds louder because of the saturation. Actually, it's not even saturating right now. That's, where's Snap on this? Why is Snap? They did something to this that I don't remember. Here it is. It's like I just haven't used it forever. There we go. Wave shaping the subs, trying to get more character out of them so they don't need to be as loud. That's the thing. I mean, they sound louder without having to be turned up. So that's another way. Like, that's what I mean by it's not always going to be accurate here based on what it sounds like. So this time, since this just the nature of this note and the fundamental of all this, I'm trying to do some different saturation on the sub. That's got a nice sound there, but all right, I'm gonna keep it low for now. It's not clipping there, but I feel like it needs to be louder. Now let me turn the top up. I also did something last week. I Got these pictures here. Let's see if I can find them. MPA, where is that? Shared folder. So I used Ozone 8. You know, they got the Master Assistant in it, and it's basically just a lot of the same technology they use for like tonal balance control and things like that, I believe. And you can, this was just their default. It's not the best way to do it, but I can actually go back, and I'm going to go back and put a reference track in, and then do the Master Assistance against reference track, and then you get an idea of EQ curves there. So look, this shows right here. This is the track we're working with right here. This was the Master Assistance EQ adjustments they did on this, the rough mix that we had. So you can already see that the sub, me trying to boost the sub, that it's not going to like that. It needs the character of the sub with saturation, but the volume, they're pushing that down, way down here, way down. And to balance it on the opposite end, they're pushing all this stuff up really high up here. So we've already kind of started doing that. The reason why I take these pictures is so I can get an idea of a target point. So when I'm working here, it kind of helps me hear what I see there, and I go, okay, what parts of this track can I use to boost this, and what parts of the track do I need to dip here? So the next time I go run the Master Assistant, it should be a more balanced line, and it shouldn't be trying to like, again, your ear is the final say on that, but those Ozone, Isotope knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Listen to this plucky thing. Okay. Then mono. It's stereo now. I'm gonna turn off the bass and the chords. Listen to just the plucky thing and get that balance against the kick. We want this plucky thing pretty loud. Getting some more volume out of just using this transient processor here. That reverb on that sounds weird. So I'm gonna EQ the reverb. Reverb on this sounds weird. So this is, I'm actually just going to EQ the signal before it goes into this reverb. It's the reverb on the plucky sound. It's like a tighter reverb now. Needs a better reverb probably. Okay, we got a little bit more volume out of that. Let me turn my headphones down really quiet. Barely turn them up. I don't want to hear anything. Turn up a little more. What is happening? Oh, I just like barely touch it. I guess I'm not turning it up enough at all. Test, test, test. What? 3 and 4. Sorry, I literally got distracted by looking at my interface here. I'm realizing something that I never realized before. Sorry, I'm checking something. Like my microphone is coming out. I have my microphone plugged into my Focusrite, which I use to talk to y'all. I also use my Focusrite. How's the signal coming up? Never mind. I figured out what it was. That was a total detour, sidetrack. I was confused by what I was looking at over here. Like all these ins and outs on my new interface, and I thought it was just like not set up right. But actually, I am wrong. Forgive me. I wish I could just delete that whole little segment out of here. All right. Anyways, let's get back to what we're doing here. Play. headphones turned down really low. That's so I can hear the balance of everything. It's pretty balanced. Let me turn up my headphone. There's so many ways we can get more volume out of those plucks. Let me see. The delay's turned off. I'm not using that delay anymore. I'm gonna turn this. There we go. Nice and plucky. There we go. We're just gonna push that. It's not really causing it to clip that much. Let me turn the pads on. I want the pads to be warmer. Turn the bass on. This is where usually the problems kick in. I'm looking at this limiter over here, and I know it's not clipping that much. In fact, when I push it into Ozone and everything, it's going to fix a lot of this, but it's still clipping more than I like in my mixes. Trying to figure out why. And turn off this stuff. Sidechain on it. Okay, that's not clipping. Look at that. Beautiful. I'll turn the sub back on. Sub is definitely an issue here. Sidechain could be because of the kick on the sidechain. Oops. What is this track? That's the wrong. Make sure I didn't mess that up. That was the wrong EQ. All right, I'm going back to this EQ here. the top end of the bass. I'm just trying to shape it in a way that sounds really cool and good for the track, but doesn't seem to cause any problems with the limiter. Also, its price resonant frequencies back and like stacking up against some of these other sounds. Clipping that bad there. This is a limiter. I mean, the plucks are loud. Might be too loud. All right, let's go to the other element here, which is this little kind of like a noise sample, honestly, percussion. Turn my headphones down really quiet. I can hear that. That's pretty nice texture. I'm gonna leave that where it's at. Okay. Like, I mean, this is a loud mix for the most part. I got my headphones turned down really low. It's loud. It's pushing into the limiter, but like not too much for a final mix, honestly. It's a little sloppy, but you can fix a lot of that with multi-band compression. I can fix a lot of that with bus compression. It's just different things, but you know, it takes, I don't like to do quick fixes. I try to like get to the root of the problem, which is not always easy. I'm just talking about these little peaks here, that even though they're really small, I'm just seeing if I can eliminate them. See, like if I turn off the plucks, it's not doing it, but if I turn the plucks back on, it does it. But if I turn off the sub now, it's not doing it. So it's the combination of the subs and the pluck together that's causing it. Let's see, some of them are even bigger, really big peaks there. So I have this compressor like turned on this channel. I didn't realize it. No wonder when I was turning those plucks up and stuff and trying to get them really, really loud, they wasn't going up much louder. Actually, it compressed them in a nice way, but I was trying to figure out why it doesn't get much louder and why isn't it causing it. It's because this got this master compressor here on this thing. I really don't want this on this bus that heavy. Turn this off. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to compress them at this level, but I mean, look at this. It's already just those peaks on this are insane. Let me try to fix these plucks a little. Delete this. Right there. Like it's not even as loud as it was, and it's clipping like crazy now. It's got some major issues, but I could fix it. Let me with just some of these soft clipping. Pretty soft clipper. Why is that? I'm starting to hear it. Really loud. I know. I mean, just that pluck. It sounds right, but I'm trying to keep that volume, but not cause it to clip the thing. So I'm gonna try some different techniques here. All right, I didn't rest my ear. All right. Halftime announcements for the most part. This is not moving as quick as I wanted it to, but that's okay. I mean, we did spend a lot of time at the beginning of the stream just kind of like catching up. I'm stuck on a couple things here that for the most part, I wasn't going to worry too much about. But the more I focus on them, the more I want to make them perfect. And to be honest with everyone, I'm actually slowing down a little because I know I'm doing something wrong here, and I'm trying to backtrack a little and figure out, okay, what am I not? Why? Okay, I'm doing something wrong. That causing this clip, but I want the volume to come out. And these are the mixing techniques and tricks that a lot of people have problems with, and this is why people have problems getting these loud tracks, clean tracks, clear tracks. But the thing is, if you figure them out like a puzzle, you solve the puzzle, you figure out why and what's causing issues, stacked frequencies, resonant frequencies, just different things, sub frequencies, all kinds of things. You figure it out, and that's how you get a good mix, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Sometimes it's easier than others to pinpoint the problem, and sometimes it's just more about like not overly, being too picky. As long as it sounds good, it is good. But at the mastering stage of this, I want these tracks to pretty much sound the same way they do in the mix, just be louder and a little tighter. So I'm trying to fix everything in the mix here. This is pretty close. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just these plucks, they cause some issues. They weren't as bad when I was just smashing everything over here on this channel, like a second limiter basically. So if I was to resample these plucks out with a limiter on and bring them back in and essentially be the same thing and then limit them again or whatever, but that's not always the best technique or the best go-to. The first go-to I try to fix it with frequencies and just soft clippers and transient processors and things like that. And what bugs me is when what I'm doing is not changing what I think it's supposed to change, and then I'm like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Okay, I'm doing something weird. So I start backtracking, and I start thinking, okay. And it take a little longer on each track, but anyways, it's okay. These plucks, I want them to be louder. They really cause problems. That means it's something to do with the EQ, the range. They could have been not necessarily an octave higher, but an octave higher would have been a lot easier to mix them. They might not have sounded as good as an octave higher. So the problem is I'm going to have to EQ them a little or something and just make them sound a little different. They're not going to sound exactly the way they do, but I'll EQ them away, and even just some saturation on these might help a lot too. So I need some more saturation. Anyways. Resting my ears, very important during mixing is to rest your ears. Even more, I always rest my ears during every stream. It's even more important this week as I'm mixing to just rest my ears. Like I get another rep. This actually sounds really good if these plucks just get these plucks the way I want them. We got this track sounding really loud, tight, balanced. I think I don't know. Wait until I use my speakers. It could be because I'm using headphones right now. I'm not hearing this pluck at the right volume or whatever, but I do want to get a little more volume out of it. I look at this picture. Maybe this pluck is where a lot of this is landing here. If I was just to EQ them brighter here, it would make them stick out more. I wanted to turn them up as loud, but just because I say that doesn't mean when I go try it, it's gonna work. This is a lot of people smash their mixes into a limiter the whole time. It's the reason why they don't notice a lot of the things I notice or the producers that don't do that. We notice things causing things to push into the limiter a lot more it's easier to notice than the people that are mixing into a limiter the whole time, because people that are mixing into the limiter the whole time, that's just exactly what they're doing. They're already mixing into the limiter, so those little things that are pushing it into the limiter farther, they're not really paying attention to that. They're like, okay, whatever, it still sounds fine. They switch it on, they switch it off, they switch it on, they switch it off. But for the most part, that's why it's not usually an issue with a lot of people as they produce. But it's just not the way I mix. I want the mix to sound amazing without it touching the limiter at all, and I want the kick to be right there where I got it. It's not always going to be the case. Sometimes I'm going to touch it a little, and that's fine, because Ozone or whatever is going to fix a lot of that. But I still see how close I can get it. And sometimes you have to make some writing decisions, like you literally have to delete some stuff out or totally change the octave to some stuff to make that work. But you do get a certain sound for doing that, a certain characteristic and a certain mixing style and a certain sound, a really modern sound for doing that. So that's why, it's another reason why I do it. All right, got my headphones off, resting my ears. Let's go ahead and just remind everyone that we're going to be here Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Percussion these streams randomly through Twitch. You're a random Twitch viewer. Thanks for checking out the streams and watching the replays. Please do follow us. Same with YouTube. I know a lot of people don't necessarily watch on YouTube. A lot of our regular members view from YouTube because they're already on there, but a lot of the new members are coming through Twitch. So we welcome y'all to join the Discord and share your music with us and join the collab. So yeah, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. We're gonna be doing mix downs this week. Next week we're gonna start to do some mastering stuff. Maybe, I don't know. I keep saying maybe because I don't really master my own tracks ever. I don't even try it really, except for just Ozone. So that's all I'm really gonna be doing. But if anyone else wants to try to master the tracks, next week's the week to do that, because I'll send you all the pre-masters, my pre-masters or whatever. Okay. Shall we listen to this whole track now that it's turn? A lot of things are still muted. I don't have my headphones on. I'm resting my ears. I'm just playing this, so it's not silent. I'm gonna get a drink of water, and I will be right back. Soft clipper's not doing anything because it's not hitting the threshold. I like just make my own soft clipper with the wave shaper. What's it called? Fruity wave shaper? I always forget. There it is. Okay, I'm not. Be right back. Okay. need to resample this. Oh, this is too much going on here. This is not my normal style of processing here. Okay, really. This pluck just has a really unique characteristic to it. I want control over this pluck, but it's just not giving it to me. So I'm gonna reset some of this. Delete this. Delete this. Okay, delete this. Delete this. Delete this. Okay, random processor. It needs to be an octave higher. That's exactly the problem with this pluck. If you ask me, look at this. It sounds right, but maybe it's like it needs like it needs another pluck on top of it, with an octave higher, really bringing out all the notes. This is just more of like a mid-range ARP, and I'm trying to make it a lead ARP. This is more of like a background pad pluck kind of thing because of the register. Is that the problem I'm having here? Because look at these. I think that's what turn off the hi-hat. It's just a kick in the pluck. Sorry, I'm just zoning out on this now for a little bit. I'm letting it cause more problems than it really needs to. I'm going to mess with it later, for the most part. It's like the peaks now, like, again, mainly these are mainly be just taken care of with the mastering chain. Just these random peaks, but such a hollow sound at that. Okay, so anyways, let me go back to that's shaping it there. Analyze this. That sound, like I ruined the sound with this. There we go. I have my headphones really low, and I'm trying to get a lot of volume out of that. Could be another problem. Louder than it needs to be, but I think it sounds fine now. I mean, if I was to run this now through the test. Definitely would need some multi-band dynamic control. I actually have no clue what it's going to do if I run it through the auto assistant now. Okay, so I went ahead and unmuted all the other elements that were just acting as like fillers. I mean, atmosphere. So let's go ahead and make sure those are mixed right. So we got this talking noise thing. A little more volume out of it. Check the low ends being cut off. Yeah, I just have that plugged pretty loud, I guess. I've just been trying to mix the plug too loud the whole time, just a little too loud. It still would have been better if it was another octave higher. I mean, that's what the song's missing, is a lead that's in that octave higher. We don't have anything in the song in that octave. Like, this doesn't need to be it. The song is missing that, and that's why the EQ curve here is also showing, you know, it needs some more lead up here. There's nothing here in the lead, no lead synth or anything playing. So, we'll just have to add it in the future. These chords still kind of bug me. All right. Pretty good. Let's pick this part. So this is a transient shaper for the sidechain trigger only. I'm gonna try to shape this a little bit more with this. I'm gonna have to look at the sometimes this has a lot of effect, and sometimes it has little effect. Yeah, I mean, this just needs like a lead synth. Alright, that's everything back on. This track's basically, that's the first round of mixing on this track. I think if you look at the limiter over here, it's pretty balanced. It does clip a lot, but those aren't like a regular clip. It's only happening when frequencies are building up a little bit. Ozone will fix a lot of that, even though it's just the way it's going to be in these tracks. I was sound designing these things, it'd be probably different. So that's the way it's going to come down now. I'm realizing with these collabs, since I've been sourcing samples the whole time from members, I'm not going to always have the most control that I'm used to. So I can't be as picky. But there's still techniques, and I think I'm going to get better as I go. So I'm excited to learn some things too. But I think it's pretty good. I'm excited to throw this one to the... Let's go ahead and render this out. It's not perfect. I don't think it's going to be as good. I only did a headphones quick mix. But I'm curious how much different it looks compared to this pic, the reference picture right here. We do a new one. So let's go. Let's go. Control. Rendering out a pre-master, -6 dB. Right. Overwrite the other ones. So I'm exporting out this -6 dB version. Just to do it, just another reference in Ozone 8. I think, like I said, I've never really just mixed down tracks publicly. There's a lot that goes into mixing down a track, and I always treat it like a puzzle. There are tons of techniques. One of the things I've been hearing a lot lately, and it just makes a lot of sense, and it's kind of what I was hitting on a second ago, is if you write the track, so all the elements are in their own space already from the beginning, they kind of all have it. It is a lot easier to mix. And this is a real minimal track for the most part, so that's not necessarily the problem here. But like this is missing the lead, meaning this whole time I was trying to turn those pluck up loud to be the lead, the really loud element. But really, that was those were more mid-range plucks. That was more of a mid-range ARP thing. So they were already plenty loud. I was trying to make them fill the spot of a lead. This track needs a lead. It needs something else up there, playing the same notes as the ARP maybe, but like also doing some lead like runs and other things with a higher register, a higher octave. And this track's missing that. Maybe I will add it. I don't know. I'm not saying that's the only problem here. I'm just saying that's necessarily what I would have done in this track if this was just like a solo track of mine. Okay, rendered that out. Save. New version. And go to the master. Hold up to season 1 master. All right, here's the track. Here's the pre-master. Even that looks really balanced to me. You can see the peaks right here. All those little peaks are what the limiter was catching. Ozone's gonna catch all that, so it's no big deal. No big deal. I just don't like it when the peaks, of course, are just through the whole track, and then that something's completely wrong in your song. These are just like resonant frequencies and delays and echoes and reverbs and all that stuff is building up. It could be fixed in other ways, but we're not gonna worry about that. Ozone, let's open that. This is again, see the settings from the picture. That's what I took the picture, so I'm gonna delete these. Delete. I don't know if it's gonna be much different, honestly. It could be worse. That sub was causing some problems too. Let's find the loudest part of this track. I think this would do. Gonna loop that. Alright, that's good enough. Okay, so that's a loop for the master analyzer to like listen to that on repeat until it gets done doing its job. Gonna mute it so it doesn't blast anyone's ear. Master assistant streaming. So you got a reference track here. I should probably put in a reference track for these. I didn't. So I don't know what it's probably trying to mix and master this to like a rock song or something. I don't know. I'd imagine they know most people are doing electronic music with this. Not even a true statement, but that's what I feel like. What are you going for? Streaming CD? I'm going for streaming. And hit play. Okay, so it's analyzing this now. Let's see if the bass is any better. See if the top end's any better. See what it does. It could be a lot worse. I want to get total balance control. That'd be such a nice tool. I would love to have it even running on like a separate computer where you have the audio running into the other computer and back out. So it's not even like accessing your computer at all, and it means like in real time with no latency or anything, you could still be doing FL. I guess you would hear latency if you're trying to. Never mind. You would have latency. All right, hit accept. All right. So it's basically the same. Missing the lead. It's actually a pretty balanced curve. It's just missing the lead synth. So if I was to add a lead synth here to this song, up in that register, higher octave, see how smooth this line is? It's really just that whole thing's just missing a big chunk of what they're used to. The songs they're analyzing this, matching this with, all had probably lead instruments playing a lead up in there, vocals. That's where a vocal could be, all that stuff. The sub here, that's common on a lot of tracks. You always just get the sub way too loud. It needs to be fine-tuned, a little tightened up a little or whatever. But that's basically the same curve. I didn't do much except for I just made it sound a little better. Got the high frequencies up and stuff like that. All right, so this one needs a lead. I'm gonna write that down. I think we'll try to add a lead to this. Maybe it says right here, maybe add a lead. At some point, I figured this out, I guess already. How's stuff work? Good job. Yeah, track 2. I thought we were gonna do a few tracks today. We only got through one track so far. I'll be doing a lot of this actually off. So the goal is not necessarily. The goal is just by the end of this month, before season, have all the tracks mixed, mastered, and uploaded. We need to name all the tracks still too. I would like some custom artwork track. I don't think we're gonna be able to get a separate picture for everything. So let's just come up with one picture for the album. That's MPA Production Stream Season 1. No, it's not. It's called Community Collab. MPA Community Collab Season 1. Like I think like a subtitle would be like Pilot Season or something. Actually, I don't know. It could be whatever. That's overthinking it. Anyways, let's get a title for the thing. Let's get a picture for the thing. Some kind of artwork. Get all 8 tracks posted, mixed, master posted by the end of this month. October 4th, we're going to start Season 2. So. All right, I did make this track sound better, I think. Even though the EQ curve and stuff didn't change much here, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna adjust the bass. That's a good sign here. I was trying to turn the bass up, but actually it shows I need to turn it down. So I'll do that. That's gonna help with the clipping a lot. I was trying to get that bass so loud, and it's telling me right here. Also, though, I'm gonna get a reference track, a bass track. Honestly, I shouldn't be. Let's see here. I've never actually done it. So Master Assistant, you click reference track, load at least one reference in the reference panel to enable this track. Okay, I have used the reference panel before. You got references here. I can load in like a track within the genre into the Ozone 8 here. And what's wrong with the wow. Load a reference track in here. It analyzes that first, basically, and then I can Master Assistant up against that. But anyways, I was more using that as a quick reference point to see like how off track is to most commercial tracks or whatever, and it's pretty accurate to what I think the track is. Problem is with the track is missing the lead and stuff. Anyways, so I'm not gonna save any of this. I'm gonna leave it just like that. I'm gonna go open. I'm gonna jump over to another track and get it started. Probably won't finish it here on stream, but I'm gonna start mixing another track. In fact, let's just jump to number 3 here. Another random. I'm knocking off the checklist. I don't know which ones I've already done. Alright, so I'm excited for next week, the mastering. Do tune in tomorrow again, even though, like I said, it's gonna be a lot of the same stuff here. I've got some things I want to share. A lot of spreadsheets, other things I've been working on for the community, and I want to share that stuff. I'll just quickly show you right here, but I'm going to explain it for tomorrow on stream. Look at this list here. These are the members following the YouTube, not the YouTube. This list is a list of members following the music production amino SoundCloud, the music production amino Instagram, and our Discord members, all combined into one sheet. Now, these are members that are following us, not people that we're following just only. These are members that are following us back. So these are the members that I like consider to be the actual members of the community because they followed us back. You know, they're following. They're not just us following them at some point for some amino reason. This is them following us back on our different channel. These are the members I'm focusing on for playlisting. And I want to show everyone tomorrow and some other times, some other different things this week about this and where. So do come back tomorrow. Check out some more of that stuff. We'll continue to mix down the tracks, of course. It ain't a full mix down. It's just mixing, honestly. But it's like basically the final mix before master. I've also got some other sheets here that I've been working on. And these sheets are going to be for the sole purpose of tracking. How it sounds like in the world of like, oh, stop tracking. Is there music production? We're only tracking the music. I'm not tracking anything else. We're tracking the music. So this is all for music. This is for producers trying to share their music in the first place. So, you know, these are public links, public Instagrams, public SoundCloud. These are where these producers are posting their music and their art. So to help that, to further the community support, I've been gathering those links, just like I repost something like gather links. It makes it easier for me to tag the producers on Instagram as I repost their music on SoundCloud. But at some point, I can make all that publicly accessible so anyone can access the database of our members and all their links and stuff. And I'll show off some more of what I have going on. So come back tomorrow to check out some more of that and some more mix downs. We'll continue to mix down these tracks. We'll get them all done by the end of the week. So this is collab. This track I just pulled up here that I'm going to work on for the rest of the stream and afterward is collab number 3. It's Yield, Bass Genix, I Am Jet, and Deity on this track. One of my favorite tracks. They're all like one of my favorite tracks on the project, so I got to stop saying that. But anyways, I do like this track a lot. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to start with just the drums, the kick drum. I'm going to do that. And I want. So let's open up the span. It's -4. It's a pretty loud kick, but can't always tell just by the dB if it's too loud or not loud enough. You have to really, first of all, it really helps if you have the limiter up. I mean, it's kind of the same readings, but let's just see. I like the snare, and this is what causes most of the problem. The snare is part of this kick. The kick and snare are part of the same loop in this, and the snare is so much like just dB, like on the meter, it peaks so much louder than the kick. Was the problem I was having with this originally. I tamed it a lot, so it's pretty tame. I'll leave it just like that. This one's fine. The snare's up there, but it's okay. Kick and snare on most of these tracks will be where they already need to be because I've already been mixing. Okay, so we have this hi-hat thing. Those are pretty loud. Oh, I have my headphones turned up. Let me turn my headphones down. Pretty good volume for a trap song. The hi-hat. Turn on this percussion. I feel a little silly doing this because I've already done this to these tracks multiple times. It's just something I do. I mix the tracks always. And a lot of it's before and after the stream, before I go live. This is just something I'm always doing. I'm always balancing the tracks with each other in this same method. So I'm just kind of doing it on stream this week because it was in the plans to do final mix downs. But I'm really not doing a mix down in the sense that other people would do, where I would render out all the tracks, maybe put them all into a fresh project, stem mix down, maybe or something like that, or start from scratch, put everything at gain stage, everything at -6, and then mix everything from scratch. I'm not doing that because I've been mixing all along. I don't want to mess everything up that I've already been doing. So it's just going to be a lot of just fine tuning. That's what we're going to be doing. Checking the EQs, make sure I'm cutting out phantom frequencies. Drums sound pretty nice. Turn the sub back on. I'm realizing with a lot of these tracks that without using a separate sub and using all the subs and everything, that I'm not going to be able to stick to my normal, like I was talking about earlier in the stream, like, oh, I always stick to the -42 and all this and all that. Each track's going to be different with these collabs for sure. So I'm open to learning some things with messing with all these random samples and then just trying to make them work without replacing the samples and all that. Because I like these tracks where we got them. So now it's going to be up to me to just like do what I can to make them sound as good as I can. I love this bass. Is that a good? So this one is at -42. Let me pull up. Like this one is at -42, and it wants more bass pre-messed. I mean the auto assistant. So that's funny. It's not always, can't always just go by that. I can hear it though. It's just, it really has to do with the octave and the note subs in that last track compared to this track. This one doesn't even sound as subby. It's really not. That's the reason. But I like it. It sounds good. It's a real clean mix. And in fact, if I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that picture I just pulled up. Not that one. It wants some more of those down here. So I would probably. It's at 40 hertz. I don't know if I can't even hear what I'm doing down there. I'm just boosting it because this is there boosted here. It's all boosted right here because of these two really wide bells. Like basically all boosted. I'm not gonna do that. Oh. Yeah, it's making it more subby. Alright, I'm gonna turn on the lead. Where's this track at? What's in this track? Oh, it's all right here. I love these simpler tracks with just a few tracks to make up everything, but I just always forget. I'm like, seems like we're missing a lot of elements. See how it wants all these, this picture showing a huge lack of mids, but I don't think I want to get it out of the super saws here because I was carving that stuff out to make it sound cleaner because the super saws were kind of muddy around that area. I wonder if I should get it out of this 808. Alright, here's the top end of the 808. Like this one. So this is at what, 1K? Right under 1K, which is where 1K is here. So let's just Bringing it out in that bass. Maybe that'll fill in a lot of that. Yeah, I think it gives the track a lot of character. Okay, and it's got way too much high end, it says up here. Where's that coming from? Does it come from those super saws? Let's check these hats. Those are nice and warm. They're not too. I think it's probably come from that super saw. I gotta control this peak here. Like I said, I got all these sounding. I mean, I'm glad I'm going in here and fine tuning them even more, but I mean, I'm not gonna over obsess with these. I mean, there's so many different reasons, but I want to keep explaining to people that like this project is for fun, and the more I do this, I think the better they'll get. But I'm not gonna overly obsess over like every one of these tracks. I do want to make them sound good though. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to go spend more time finishing these off because it's like missing things than I wanted to spend like trying to make this mix super perfect. Let's fix this. This is pretty Revolver track. This needs to be fixed big time here. Let's add a track. Let's add the volume. This is track 9. Volume. I'm gonna like bring this in like this. Alright, did we fix something there? Yay, we did something. Alright. Okay. Recap on what happened today. Alright, so again, as I've been saying all day, we're going to be mixing down the tracks all week. But today was like kind of an experiment because I've never mixed down tracks before and kind of went through the process and figured out, like, done it live within a 2-hour period and all that stuff. It's not normally how I mix things down. Although I did a lot. I'm doing it similar. I'm showing off what I normally do, but when I find little problems, I usually spend a lot more time figuring them out. And I don't want to necessarily do that here on stream because I can just really bore the stream to death, me playing the same thing over and over and EQ and stuff. I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna do a lot of that stuff off stream. I'm gonna be using this week to show off the mix downs. We're gonna do some different techniques and different tricks, but I'm still gonna just continue to finish off the tracks because, as I keep saying, each one of these tracks is still missing some elements. And you know what? We're gonna finish writing those off, and we're just gonna have them done by the end of this month for sure. I mean, not even by the end of the month, before then, because I've got to take a break before the next season, so at least a week or something. So, like I said, this week we're gonna continue to mix and write the songs, and next week I'm gonna master and release the songs, get them all done. Last Friday this month we're doing the feedback stream anyways. We'll just be done with this season, do the feedback stream. That final week probably be just, releasing them and taking a break, and then starting the first week of October we will start season 2. So that's the plan here. What we're gonna continue to do. And kind of what I was saying a second ago is if I feel like one of the tracks is not completely finished and it could have been better, I'm still gonna release it, and we're still gonna move on to season 2 because it is what it is. We can always make them better with remixes or something like that. So I will just try to make the tracks sound as good as I can within the deadline each season, and that's what I'm gonna do. All right. See everyone tomorrow. I'll be back same time, 6 p.m. Eastern. You can direct message me in Discord if you want to continue the conversation. Thanks for those that stopped by today in the stream and everyone that's been contributing, collaborating, and stuff like that. And definitely thanks for all the people that watch the replays. That I'm kind of talking also to the people I don't know. I usually know everyone that checks out the stream, which is a community stream, and I'm pretty familiar with most of the members, and I'm always talking to the members. But then I watch the replays on Twitch. I watch the number of replays that we get on Twitch, each video on each week, and all the stats. And I'm curious, are those members? Are those just viewers? So if you're a viewer and not a member and you're just watching the streams and you catch each stream so you like it, cool. I'd like to know. That'd be cool. So I'm glad I'm providing some sort of entertainment, but mainly not just about the entertainment, mainly also working on albums and collaborating. So this is like a dual purpose kind of thing, collaborating with members, creating music, and entertaining, hopefully. I don't know how entertaining I really am, but I have fun. All right, see y'all tomorrow.